Good morning, dear students. Today we'll start our new chapter, Combustion and Flame, chapter number 6. So first of all, we need to know combustion meaning is our what? What is the meaning of our combustion? So see, the meaning of our combustion is the process of burning something. The process of burning something. This one is known as our combustion. Okay, so let's start. We use different kinds of fuel for various purposes at our home. We are using different kinds of fuel like our wood, kerosene, LPG, like this, so many things we are using for various purposes at our home. In industry also we are using, and for running automobile also we are using fuels. Can you name a few fuels used in our homes like wood, cow dung, like these things we are using as fuels in our home. Name a few fuels used in trade and industry. What fuels are used for running automobiles? Your list will contain fuels like our cow dung, wood, coal, charcoal, petrol, diesel, compressed natural gas, this one in short form CNG, etc. This type of fuels we are using in our home or industry or in automobiles. You are familiar with the burning of a candle. We have seen burning of a candle in all of our home. We are burning this one. What is the difference between the burning of a candle and the burning of fuel like coal? So when we are burning a candle, it is giving flame. But when we burn a, that means coal or charcoal, that time it is not giving flame. Only heat it is producing. Candle burns with a flame, whereas coal does not. That means coal, when we are burning, that time it is not giving any kinds of flame, only heat producing. And red color we have seen this one. Similarly, you will find many other materials burning without flame. Like this, so many materials are there. This one is burning without any flame. Let us study the chemical process of burning and the types of flame produced during this process. So first of all, what is combustion? This one we need to know. What is our combustion? Recall the activity of burning of magnesium ribbon performed in class 7. In class 7 already we performed this our magnesium ribbon, how we are burning in air with the presence of our air. So again I will give you this, that means our this experiment one, you will see this one nicely. Okay, so we will learn that magnesium burns to form magnesium oxide. When we are burning magnesium in the presence of our oxygen, that time it is producing magnesium oxide and produces heat and light also. We can perform a similar activity with a piece of charcoal. Instead of magnesium ribbon, we are able to use a piece of charcoal. Hold the piece with a pair of tongs and bring it near the flame of a candle or a Bunsen burner. In spirit burner near will bring this one. What do you observe? We will observe this this charcoal or coal, this one is our burning, but it is not producing any flame. We find that charcoal burns in air. We know that coal too burns in air, producing carbon dioxide, heat and light. When this coal or charcoal it is burning in air, it is what producing our carbon dioxide, heat and light. A chemical process in which a substance, reacts with oxygen to give off heat is called combustion. So this process, this chemical process in which, suppose here our magnesium, it is reacting with our oxygen and giving our what? Heat. This process is known as our combustion. This substance that undergoes combustion is said to be combustible. So here our magnesium and coal going, so this our magnesium and our charcoal will be our combustible. It is also called a fuel. So this our charcoal or our this our magnesium ribbon, this one is known as our fuel. The fuel may be solid. This fuel may be our solid like our wood, liquid may be our kerosene, petrol, diesel, or gas like our LPG. This fuel may be our solid, liquid or gas. Now understood this one. Sometimes light is also given off during combustion, either as a flame or a glow. In the reaction mentioned above, magnesium and charcoal are combustible substances. So they are undergoing this process. So this one is known as our combustible substances. Now I am giving you this our experiment, magnesium ribbon. When we are burning in our air, what producing the magnesium oxide, this one you will see nicely now.
Burning of magnesium ribbon is a chemical change. Take a piece of magnesium ribbon. Hold one end of it with a pair of tongs and heat the other end over the Bunsen burner or spirit lamp as shown here. It starts burning with a dazzling light and produces dense white fumes. The white fumes on cooling form a white powder called magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide is a new substance and its properties are different from magnesium. Can we obtain magnesium from magnesium oxide by any physical method? Certainly not. Therefore, it is a permanent and irreversible change. Hence, it is a chemical change.
I think you understood nicely how magnesium is burning in the presence of oxygen and producing magnesium oxide. So, let us investigate let us investigate conditions under which combustion takes place. Under what condition our combustions take place, this one. So here another experiment it is given our. So to do this experiment, be careful while handling burning candles. So this experiment also I am giving you to another animation video. You will understand this one nicely.
Do you think oxygen is essential for combustion? Let's perform an activity and test it out. Fix 3 burning candles on a table and cover them with glasses whose bases have been removed. Now, put the glass over the first candle in such a manner that it rests on 2 wooden blocks, as you can see on the screen. Place the glass over the second candle in such a manner that it simply rests on the table. And place a glass plate over the third candle. There you go. Now what do you observe? You will observe that the candle burns freely in the first case. What happens in the second case? The flame flickers and produces more smoke before going off. And what about the third case? In the third case, the flame goes off as soon as it is covered with the glass plate. So, we can say that the presence of air or oxygen is an essential requirement for combustion to take place.
So we understood that air is essential for burning anything. To burn anything, our air is very essential. From this experiment, now we understood this one nicely. So we find that for combustion, air is necessary. For combustion, that means for burning something, our air is necessary. Without air, that means oxygen, it is not possible to burn anything. The candle burns freely in case A. When air can, because that's downside it is our, and top side also air is able to move, so it is easily burning. In A, when air can enter the chimneys from below. In case B, when air does not enter the chimneys from below. Below side where we are stopping, but top it is going, so the flame flickers and produces smoke. So here our flames is flicker, and what produces smoke. In case the flame finally goes off because of the air is not available. In the third case, what happened? Down also will stop this one and top also will stop. For this region, here fully air cut off. The supply of air full cut off. For this region here, our candle full off became here. So we understood from this experiment that air is very essential for our burning anything. You might have heard that when the clothes of a person catch fire, the person is covered with a blanket to extinguish fire. Can you guess why it is? Because you know why it is. When this person clothes catch fire, that time we are covering this person with blanket and rolling on the ground, because that time it will that means the air supply will be cut off and this person clothes, our fire will be stopped. So for this reason we are covering this person with blanket to stop our air supply. Now recall some of our experiences. Does a matchstick burn by itself? No, a matchstick is not burned by itself. How does it burn? When we are, that means rub it, that time only it is burning, because that time ignition power, ignition temperature you will understand this one later on. Ignition temperature is less. If it is increased, that time only it is burning. Some materials are there, they are in room temperature only burning. It is very dangerous to handle. You must have had an experience of burning a piece of paper. We all burn paper somehow. Does it burn when a burning matchsticks is brought near it. Yes, when we are burning matchsticks near bringing it paper, immediately it is burning, because the time this ignition temperature our increasing, so it is easily burning. Can you burn a piece of wood by bringing a lighted matchsticks near it? No, not possible. It is a piece of wood, because the ignition temperature of it is very low, so it will be high, so very high temperature needed. Can you burn a piece of wood by bringing a lighted matchsticks near it? Not possible it is. Why do you have to use paper or kerosene oil to start fire in wood or coal? To increase its ignition temperature, we are using paper or our kerosene oil. So it is ignition temperature will be increased, that time it will catch fire. Have you heard of the forest fire? Yes, forest fire, we have seen this one in our news channel also. The few days ago we have seen in Australia forest fire happened. So many things destroy their lives. So during extreme heat of summer, at some places dry grasses catch fire. From the grass it spreads to trees, and very soon the whole forest is on fire. See in this figure, it is very difficult to control such fire, because it is going entire our forest, so it will be not possible to control so easily. Do these experiences tell you that different substances catch fire at different temperature? Yes, different substance, they are different temperature needed to burn this one. The lowest temperature at which a substance catches fire is called is ignition temperature. Lowest temperature, which temperature increase, then only it is catch fire. This temperature is known as our ignition temperature. Can you tell you now why a matchstick does not catch fire on its own at room temperature? Because its ignition temperature is low. For this reason, it is at room temperature, it is not by itself not burning. Why does the matchstick start burning on rubbing it on the side of the matchbox? Because that time it is increasing its ignition temperature and it is easily burned. Here the story of matchstick is given, you will read by yourself. We find that a combustible substance cannot catch fire or burn as long as its temperature is lower than its ignition temperature. As long as its ignition temperature is low, it is not burning. When its ignition temperature is increasing, that time only it is burning. Have you ever seen cooking oil catching fire when a frying pan is kept for long on a burning stove? Yes, we have seen sometime it is. Kerosene oil and wood do not catch fire on their own at room temperature. But if kerosene oil is heated a little, if we heat kerosene oil little, it will catch fire. For this reason, we need to handle our kerosene very carefully. But if wood is heated a little, it would still not catch fire. Does it mean that ignition temperature of kerosene oil is lower than that of wood? Yes. Does it mean that we need to take special care in storing kerosene oil? Sure. When we store our kerosene oil, that time we must be careful. The following activity shows that it is essential for a substance to reach ignition temperature to burn. So these activities also I am giving you one animation video, you will check nicely. See here it is given our heating water in a paper cup. In paper cup we are able to heat our water. How this one? I am giving you this what name experiment, you will see this one. So from this experiment now we will understood this one, that what happened to the empty paper cup. Which paper cup is empty, this one will burn. What happens to the paper cup with water? It will not burn, but this water will be little hot. Does the water in this cup become hot? Surely it will be little hot it will be. If we continue heating the cup, We can even boil water in the paper cup. In paper cup only we are able to boil this our water. Can you think of an explanation for this phenomenon? Because see, this phenomenon is what? The heat supplied to the paper cup is transferred to water. Whatever the heat producing, this one is where transferred? It is transferred to our water by conduction. So, in the presence of water, the ignition temperature of paper is not raised. So, what the paper ignition temperature, it will be not increase. Hence, it does not burn. For this reason, this paper cup will not burn. These substances which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire with a flame are called inflammable substances. Easily it is catching fire. This type of flame is, that means fuel, is known as our inflammable substances. Examples of inflammable substances are petrol, alcohol, liquefied petroleum gas, that means our LPG, etc. Can you list some more inflammable substances? If you get, then list it and submit to me. How do you control fire? If anywhere fire caught, then how we are able to control this one? Now we'll learn this. You must have seen or heard of fire breaking out in homes, shops and factories. This type of news we have seen in our newspaper or news channel. If you have seen such an accident, if you are witness of this type of accident, then write a short description in your notebook. Also share the experience, and also you will share your experience with your classmates. Does your city or town have a fire brigade station? Yes, in our city fire brigade station is there. When a fire brigade arrives, what does it do? What this person are doing, this fire brigade? It pours water on the fire. There see in figure how they are giving water. Like this they are giving water. Why giving water? Water cools the combustible materials. This water, it is cooling down the combustible which one is burning. These materials cool down, so that its temperature is brought below its ignition temperature. When water is giving, it is cool becoming and its ignition temperature coming down. This prevents the fire from spreading. It prevents, that means it is stopping the fire more spread. Water vapors also surround the combustible materials, helping in cutting off the supply of our air. So the fire is extinguished. So our fire is stopping. You have learned that there are three essential requirements for producing fire. Three essential requirements are there to produce our fire. So these things are what this one will now learn. Can you list these requirements? See, these are fuel. Which one will our essential things? Our fuel. Without fuel there is no any fire will be. Air needed. Without air also there will be no any fire. No any kinds of heat will not. Another will be our what? Heat. To raise the temperature of the fuel beyond the ignition temperature. Heat needed, otherwise ignition temperature it is not rise, then it will be not any fire. Fire can be controlled. How we are able to control fire? By removing one or more of these requirements. These three requirements are there. If we stop one or two or three, then it will be stop our fire. The job of a fire extinguisher is to cut off the supply of air. So what is the job of the fire extinguisher? Those who are coming in fire brigade, their work is to cut off the air supply or to bring down the temperature of the fuel. And what that our fuel temperature increasing, this one they need to come down. This one they need to down this temperature. Or both. Both also they are able to do. Both means they are able to cut off the air supply also, and they are able to down the temperature of the fuel also. Notice that the fuel in most cases cannot eliminate it. Means completely not remove this one. Completely this fuel we are not able to remove. If for instance a building catches fire, if a building flat catching fire, that time see the whole building is the fuel. Entire building will be our fuel. Types of combustion. Bring a burning matchstick or a gas lighter near a gas stove in the kitchen. Turn on the knob of the gas stove. What do you observe? We'll see it is, that means will give flame, in blue color flame it will give. So here it is, notice it is given you, do not handle the gas stove yourself. Ask your parents to help. You don't do this experiment by yourself. With the help of your parents you will do. If you want, it will be good, no need to do. We find that the gas burns rapidly and produces heat and light. Such combustion is known as rapid combustion. This type of combustion is known as rapid combustion. There are substances like our phosphorus which burn in air at room temperature. This one is room temperature, it is burning. The type of combustion in which a material suddenly bursts into flames without the application of any apparent cause is called spontaneous combustion. Automatically, by themselves only it is burning suddenly. This type of combustion is known as our spontaneous combustion. We generally have fireworks on festival days, especially in our Diwali. When a cracker is ignited, a sudden reaction takes place with the evolution of heat, light and sound. A larger amount of gas formed in the reaction is liberated. Such a reaction is called explosion. This type of reaction is known as our explosion. Explosion can also take place if pressure is applied on the crackers. Explosion, again, how will be clear to see? Explosion can also take place, how it is, if pressure is applied on the cracker. If pressure will apply on our wire cracker, that time also explosion may be take place. Flame. Observe an LPG flame. Can you tell the color of the flame? It is blue color. What is the color of a candle flame? Here several colors are there, but we have seen generally it is our yellowish color. Recall your experience of burning a magnesium ribbon in class 7. Just before I have given you have seen this one. If you do not have experience of burning the remaining items in table 6.2, 6.25 items are given. Table, you can do it that now. So candle we know it is form flame it is. So here it is our forming flame, like this we need to give. Magnesium, it is form or not form, you will write this one by yourself. Camphor, this one you have not seen. So I'll give you camphor burning one, you will see. Kerosene, it is giving our flame. Charcoal, it is not giving our flame. So this camphor one now I am giving you. Watch this one nicely, then you will tick mark here where here or does not form flame. Where it is, this one will tick mark by yourself. Structure of a flame. Now we'll learn our structure of a flame. So this activity I'll give you the animation video, you will understand nicely this one. So here it is giving, see, the substances which vaporize. Which one is our vaporize? Which substance? During burning. In this process of burning, which substance is vaporized? Give flames. If vaporized, then only it is giving our flames. For example, kerosene oil and molten wax rises through the wick and are vaporized during burning and form flames. For this reason it is forming our flames. Other side, see, charcoal on the other hand does not vaporize. This charcoal is not vaporized and so does not produce a flame. For this reason it is not producing our any kinds of flame. In activity 6.5, in this activity I'll give you, in this activity, could the vapor of wax coming out of the glass tube be the case of the flame produced? So here it is coming through the tube. For this reason only our flame is producing. Now this one you will see another experiment. This one also I'll give you. You will watch this one nicely. When the candle flame is steady, when our candle flame is steady, not moving, introduce a clean glass plate or slide into the luminous zone of the flame. In luminous zone only we'll put this one. Next page you will get where the luminous zone, the zone of our candle. Here only we'll place this one, this slide one, or glass, anything, clear. So see, into the luminous zone of the flame. Hold it there with a pair of tongs for about 10 seconds. For how many seconds we'll hold here? For 10 seconds. Then remove it. What do you observe? Blackish color something will get here. See, a circular blackish ring is formed on the glass plate or slide. It is indicate that the deposition of unburned carbon particles present in the luminous zone of the flame. Which one is not burning? This one. This indicates that the deposition of unburned carbon particles. Which one? Unburned, not burning. These carbon particles present in the luminous zone. This one is where present? In luminous zone of the flame. In flame luminous zone only our unburned carbon is remaining. Then another, this one will see this. This one also I'll give you experiment, you will see this one. Hold a thin long copper wire inside our electric wire, you will get this one, copper wire, thin. So wire just inside the non-luminous zone. Where non-luminous zone is there, see, Here the temperature is most. Here we'll put this one. Luminous zone of flame for about 30 seconds. How many seconds? 30 seconds. Notice that the portion of the copper wire just outside the flame gets red hot. So we'll see this one, it will be becoming our red hot. Does it indicate that the non-luminous zone of the flame has a high temperature? Yes, non-luminous zone is our high temperature zone. In fact, this part of the flame is the hottest part, and this part our hottest part. This is called non-luminous zone. This portion, non-luminous zone, this is one of the hottest zone of our flame. Different zones of candle flame. This diagram also I'll give and explain which part is known as what and function is what. This one everything I'll explain. Okay. In this experiment I'll give you this one animation video. Goldsmith blow the outermost zone of a flame with a metallic blowpipe for melting gold and silver. In this figure you see. Why do they use the outermost zone of the flame? Because to make it hot. Because they have hot position, it is there. See, it is giving. Now see, what is a fuel? Recall that the source of the heat energy for the domestic and industrial purposes are mainly wood, charcoal, petrol, kerosene, etc. These substances are called fuels. This one is known as our fuels. A good fuel is one which is readily available. Which fuel is good? Which one is our readily available? It is cheap. In less price we are getting this one. It burns easily in air at a moderate rate. Easily it is burning in our air. It produces a large amount of heat. It is producing our large amount of our heat. This type of things, this type of fuel is known as our good fuel. It does not leave behind any undesirable substances. When we are burning, that time it is not leaving any undesirable substances. So now I am giving you this experiment. You will check this one nicely.
Combustion and flame. Introduction. Observe the flame of the LPG and the candle. Can you see that the flame of the LPG is clean blue in color and does not leave any other gases? On the other hand, the candle burns with a yellow luminous flame, leaving behind black soot or residue. In combustion, the substances that vaporize produce a flame. When a candle is lit, the molten wax rises through the wick and gets vaporized to produce a flame. A fuel like charcoal does not vaporize and so does not produce a flame. Structure of flame. Observe the flame of the candle. We can notice that the flame of the candle has three regions: innermost zone, middle zone, and outer zone. The innermost zone has dark black vapors of wax. In this part, the vapors are not burnt and therefore it is the least hot region of the candle. In the middle zone, the wax vapors start burning. The color of the flame is yellow. Since oxygen available in this region is not sufficient for the wax vapors to burn completely, and therefore the temperature in the zone is not very hot. In the outer zone, the wax vapors burn completely in the presence of sufficient oxygen from air. The color of the flame is blue and the temperature in this region is very high. Innermost zone. Let us do an activity to show that innermost zone of a flame consists of unburnt wax vapors. Take a candle and place it on a table. Now light it with the help of a matchstick. Bring a glass tube and introduce one end of the glass tube in the innermost zone of the flame. Now bring an ignited matchstick near the other end of the glass tube. What do you see? We see a flame at the end of the glass tube. The innermost zone of the flame near the heated wick consists of unburnt vapors. These wax vapors enter the glass tube and come out from the other end. And on introducing a lighted matchstick near the end of the glass tube, the wax vapors coming out of it catch fire, producing a flame. So we can say that the innermost zone of a candle consists of unburnt wax vapors. Middle zone. Let us perform an activity to show that the luminous or middle zone of the flame consists of unburnt carbon particles. Take a lighted candle and place it on a table. Introduce a glass slide into the luminous zone of the flame with a pair of tongs. Hold the slide for about 10 seconds. Now remove the slide from the flame and observe. A circular blackish ring is formed on the glass slide. So we can say that the luminous flame consists of unburnt carbon particles. Outermost zone. Finally, let us do an activity to show that non-luminous zone is the hottest part of the flame. We have a lighted candle placed on the table. Now, hold a thin, long copper wire just inside the flame with a pair of tongs for about 30 seconds. Observe carefully. The part of the copper wire just outside the flame turns red hot. This is the non-luminous flame of the candle. It has a high temperature and is the hottest part of the flame.
What is a fuel? Recall that sources, already I explained, again I am explaining, you will understand this one nicely. Recall that the sources of heat energy for domestic and industrial purposes are mainly our wood, charcoal, petrol, kerosene, etc. This type of fuels we are mainly using for our house and industrial purposes. These substances are called fuels. This one is known as our fuels. A good fuel is one which is readily available. That means in all locations we are getting this one. It is cheap, less price. In less price we are getting this one. So it is not possible nowadays. It burns easily in air at a moderate rate. In air it is burning easily with moderate rate. It produces a large amount of heat. It is producing our what? Large amount of heat. It does not leave behind any undesirable substances. When it is burning, that time it is not leaving any kinds of undesirable substances. There is probably no fuel that could be considerable as an ideal fuel. Like this fuel nowadays it is not possible to identify like this. So it will be not an ideal fuel. We should look for a fuel which fulfills most of the requirements of a particular use. Fuels differ in their cost. Some fuels are cheaper than others. Like our wood is cheaper compared to our LPG. Make a list of fuels familiar to you. Which kinds of fuels you know, this type of fuels list you will make. Group them as solid, liquid and gaseous. Fuel in the table given, it is our C 6.3. In this table you will fill up this one. Fuel efficiency. Fuel efficiency. Suppose you were asked to boil a given quantity of water using cow dung, coal or LPG as fuel. Which fuel would you prefer? So suppose you have given 1 liter of water to boil this one, and you have given 3 kinds of fuel using any kinds among these 3, like our cow dung, coal or LPG. Which one will consider? Definitely will consider as our LPG. Give your reasons. Why you are choosing this one? You need to give your reason. You may take the help of your parents. You are able to take help from your parents. You are able to take this help from your parents' sides. Do these three fuels produce the same amount of heat? Same amount of heat it will not produce. The amount of heat energy, see this one is very important. The amount of heat energy, what heat we are getting produced on complete combustion of 1 kg of fuel. If 1 kg of fuel we are burning, that time what energy we are getting, this energy is called as our calorific value. The calorific value of a fuel is expressed in a unit. This unit will be our kilowatt joule. This one. Okay, next page we'll see this. This one is called our kilojoule per kg. Kilojoule per kg. Kg per kg. Calorific values of some fuels are given in table 6.4. So you memorize this one. It is important. This table, it is very important. In higher classes you need this one. Burning of fuels leads a harmful products. When we are burning fuels, that time they are producing harmful products. The increasing fuel consumption has harmful effects on the environment. Thereby they increasing this our fuel use one. So it is very harmful for our environment. Carbon fuels like our wood, coal, petroleum releases unburned carbon. They are producing what? Unburned carbon. Carbon particles. These fine particles are dangerous pollutants causing our respiratory diseases such as asthma. Asthma problem nowadays so many children are facing this one. It is the reason of our excess burning of this type of things. Carbon fuels like our wood, coal, petroleum, this one excess we are burning nowadays. For this reason this type of problems created. Then number 2c, this one, incomplete combustion of these fuels gives carbon monoxide gas. So it is a very poisonous gas. This our carbon monoxide gas is very poisonous. It is dangerous to burn. For this reason, it is very dangerous to burn coal in a closed room. If your room is closed and if you burn a coal, so it is very dangerous. Even a person may die also. The carbon monoxide gas produced can kill. This carbon monoxide, this gas producing, no, this gas can kill a person sleeping in that room. And if a person is sleeping in this closed room, then this person may die also. Combustion of most fuels releases carbon dioxide in the environment. The combustion, that means burning of fuels, of most fuels, see, releases carbon dioxide in the environment. They are giving carbon dioxide in our environment. And this carbon dioxide, what doing? Increased concentration of carbon dioxide in the air is believed to cause global warming. So it is believing that this reason only our globe is warm becoming. So here the definition of global warming given, see. Global warming is the rise in temperature of the atmosphere of the earth. This results, among other things, in the melting of polar glaciers. In polar region, glaciers are now melting, which leads, because these glaciers now melting, this ice are now melting, and it is what doing? It is rise the sea level. Now sea level it is our increasing, causing floods in the coastal areas. This cause our what becoming? Floods becoming again and again in our coastal areas. Low-lying coastal areas may even permanently submerged underwater. Then underwater, this low-level coastal area is there. This one may be submerged under our water. Now number 4c. Burning of coal and diesel releases sulfur dioxide gas. Burning of our coal and diesel, what it is releasing? Sulfur dioxide. It is an extremely suffocating, that means problem in breathing, and corrosive gas. This one is our very corrosive gas. This is our sulfur dioxide. Moreover, petrol engines gives off gaseous oxide of nitrogen. Oxides of sulfur and nitrogen dissolve in rainwater. This our what name? Sulfur and nitrogen. This one is our dissolve in our what? Rainwater and form acids, and it is forming acid. Such rain is called acid rain. This type of rain is known as our acid rain. What is known as our acid rain? This one also important. It is very harmful for crops. This acid rain is very harmful for our crops, buildings and soil. You have already learned about it in class 7. Not only in class 7, in earlier classes also we learned this one. The use of diesel and petrol as fuels in automobiles. Nowadays everyone we have our vehicles, car, bike, everything we have. So we are using petrol, diesel, and this one is very bad. See, So the use of diesel and petrol as fuels in automobile is being replaced by CNG, compressed natural gas, because we need to, that means, replace this one with our diesel and petrol instead of our CNG, because CNG produce the harmful products in very small amount. This CNG is producing harmful products in very small amount, but diesel petrol, this one is producing much harmful products. So CNG is also our cleaner fuel. This one also our cleaner fuel. So this chapter our here finished.